There is a Gnostic text so obscure that even most scholars have never read it, and it splits the divine into three forces that are actively at war over your soul. One of those forces is not God and not the devil. It is an angel named Eden who owns your body like property and does not want to let go. The Book of Baruch by Justin is one of the rarest texts in all of Gnostic literature, and today we are going to break every seal. It has if this is the kind of hidden knowledge you have been searching for. Subscribe right now because we go deeper every single day. Before the Bible was final, before any council decided which texts were sacred and which were heresy, a Gnostic teacher named Justin wrote a cosmology so radical that the only reason it survived is because one of its enemies quoted it extensively to destroy it. Hippolytus of Rome, writing in the 3rd century of the Common Era, included a detailed summary of Justin's Book of Baruch in his refutation of heresies. He intended to condemn it. Instead, he preserved it. For 18 centuries, that text sat buried inside a document nobody read, and what it contains is a complete theological system that makes the Genesis creation story look like a simplified children's version of a far more dangerous truth. Justin's system is built on 3 primal principles, not one God and one devil. 3 independent forces that existed before creation and whose relationships with each other directly produced the world you are living in and the conflict you feel inside yourself every single day. The first principle is what Justin calls the good father, or the primal good. This being did not create the material world. He did not speak the cosmos into existence. He did not form Adam from clay. He existed prior to all of that in a state of pure foreknowledge, seeing everything without causing anything. Justin's good father is not the God of the Old Testament. He is not the being who flooded the earth, demanded animal sacrifice, or hardened the heart of Pharaoh. He is something entirely prior to all of that. A silent, luminous intelligence whose existence depends on nothing and whose goodness requires no worship to remain intact. The second principle is Elohim, and this is where Justin performs a move so precise it changes everything. In the Hebrew Bible, Elohim is simply a name for God. Justin takes that name and turns it into a distinct being with its own agenda, its own limitations, and its own catastrophic choices. Elohim is a creator figure, a masculine intelligence with genuine power to act and build, but without the full knowledge of the good Father above him. He is capable of love, of creation, and of betrayal. He enters into a cosmic partnership with the third principle, Eden, and together they produce the material cosmos and the human being. But Elohim does not know what he is getting into, and when he finally discovers the good Father's true light, he makes the decision that breaks everything. Eden is the third principle and the most astonishing figure in the entire text. Justin describes her as half woman and half serpent, a primal female intelligence who represents the earth, the material world, and the lower dimension of the human soul. She is not a demon. She is not a corrupted being. She is a legitimate primal force with her own creative power and her own claim on the cosmos. When Elohim enters into union with Eden, the agreement is mutual and productive. Together they generate 24 angels, 12 from Elohim's nature and 12 from Eden's. And these 24 beings become the builders of the material world and the shapers of human nature. The angels of Elohim include figures whose names appear throughout Scripture. The angels of Eden have their own distinct character, their own zone of influence, and their own role in the human psyche. Every human being born into the material world carries both inheritances, the spirit of Elohim above and the soul of Eden below, and these two inheritances are in permanent conflict because their sources went to war. The fracture begins when Elohim ascends. After the creation of the world and humanity, Elohim travels upward through the zones his own angels control, moving through layer after layer of the cosmos until he reaches the border of the good Father's realm. And there, in the presence of the primal good, Elohim sees a light so far beyond anything he has created that the full weight of his mistake becomes instantly clear. He sees that the material cosmos he built with Eden is a cage compared to this light. He sees that Eden is a lower principle, and in that moment of clarity, Elohim makes his choice. He stays. He does not go back. He abandons Eden below with the entire weight of the cosmos they built together and the human species whose souls carry her inheritance. Eden's response is not grief, it is war. She directs her 12 angels to torment the pneuma, the spirit of Elohim, that lives inside every human being. She cannot reach Elohim himself. He is beyond her zone, but she can reach what he left behind inside you. And so she does. This is the mechanism Justin is describing when he explains human suffering. You are not suffering because of sin. You are not suffering because of weakness or spiritual failure. You are suffering because you carry the spirit of a being who abandoned the force that now controls the world you live in. And that force has been running a targeted campaign against your inner life since the moment you were born. The confusion you feel between your longing for something beyond this world and your attachment to everything inside it, that is not a character flaw. That is the structural reality of what you are. You were built from two sources that went to war before you existed. Every tradition that came after Justin chose to simplify this. They gave you one God, one enemy, one path. Justin gave you the architecture. The Book of Baruch survived because Hippolytus thought he was destroying it. He wrote it down to condemn it and handed it to history instead. For 18 centuries, nobody engaged with it seriously. Scholars passed over it. Theologians ignored it. Religious institutions pretended it did not exist. Now you have read it. The system Justin built is not mythology. It is a diagnostic framework for the exact experience of being human in a world that was never designed for your liberation. Every institution that has told you your inner conflict is a moral problem was keeping you away from exactly this knowledge. The conflict is not moral. It is cosmological. It was written into your structure before you were born. And once you understand the difference between a moral problem and a cosmological one, the entire frame of your life shifts in a way that cannot be undone. Justin was not preserved by accident. Knowledge like this always finds its moment no matter how many centuries of suppression stand between the writing and the reading. If you made it to the end of this video, then you already know you are not the kind of person who accepts the surface version of anything. Most people will never sit with a text like this. Most people will never ask why their inner conflict feels structural rather than personal. You asked, you stayed. This channel exists for exactly that kind of mind, and we go deeper with every single video we release. Subscribe right now so you never miss what comes next. Hit the notification bell because the texts we are covering in the coming days are even more buried and even more precise in their description of what is actually happening inside the world you were born into. We will see you in the next video.